Hello everybody, and how's it going? Welcome back for episode 2 of the Vulcan playthrough. So, I know it's been a couple days, and I really need to get more regular with these recordings. I'm working on it, just trying to get my life in order to be able to do that. So, we'll go ahead and hop right on back into it. So I got a couple things in mind today for what we gotta do. We need to, first and foremost, we're going to check out this oxygen tank on the lander. I got left a comment on my last video about it going critical. And I had read something about how the lander will stop that from being a factor, but we're just going to check and make sure before bad things happen we lose all of our oxygen, because that would not be good at all. Another thing I want to look at is we're going to definitely be needing some more solar panels to get more power going on. So we're going to look at what we have versus what we need to be able to do that. So we need 10 iron, 20 copper, and 5 gold. So I'm pretty sure that means we're going to need... And we almost have enough to make one. Let's see how... So we're going to need to do a little bit of mining as well. But while we wait here, I am just going to quickly do this here. So that way we can get a second locker and we can get this thing finished up. Get a real locker going, because these small lockers, I mean, for just slightly more, you know, you get 4 times the storage space, and that's definitely what we're going to be wanting to do with everything, trying to maximize our efficiency and our resources and the amount of storage space we get from those resources. You know, if I was concerned with, you know, the physical size of this, then maybe, you know, I wouldn't do that like this, but we're not concerned with the size. So we're just gonna go ahead and that works for me. Kind of hides the ugliness back there, actually, so it kind of works out really well. We're just gonna put some of this stuff I don't need to be carrying on me. It's just taking up room. And we definitely need all the room that we can get. So everything's off. So let's go see sun rising. Let's go quickly try to test out this oxygen tank before it gets too hot out here. Turn this off.
Jetpack on.
It's only at 55 degrees, so we're going to quickly yank this off and we're going to bring it inside. Hopefully we're able to do this without losing anything. And hopefully it'll fit through the door just fine. Let's go ahead and close that. And yep, that was quite risky. We're at 8 megapascals, and I don't remember what the breaking pressure is on this, but hopefully it's not that high, or not that low, I should say. Okay. So yeah, that's definitely something that happens too, and so that probably means that it is now out here in the heat. maybe. Or it might be gone. Or we're just gonna roll with it. I don't believe that it exploded, but I know it will explode, so just making sure it's not around here. And it's possible it's still in orbit, because these things can sometimes get up there pretty good. Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and call that a lost cause, I suppose. It's quite unfortunate. That just... We'll just have to wait a little bit longer before we can pressurize the base. We'll yeah, we'll have to roll with the punches here. You know, things happen in this game, and we'll just roll with it. Took a little bit of suit damage, which I don't like doing, but moving these portable things around, I mean, like moving that, I mean, you can see right there that anytime you move anything, you got a really good chance of it disappearing. So what we are going to do then, in that scenario, this scenario here, is we're going to wait for nighttime. We are going to go out and mine. And once we go out and mine, we're going to come back. We're going to build a tank, hopefully expand the base a little bit, fix this airlock, because I'm going to be replacing this one here with a frame, and probably put a frame on that side too. I learned my lesson on putting the walls there, and some people do it. I just definitely like having the frame. And then we're going to build a tank so that way we can capture and contain these gases, and definitely filter out the oxygen and start keeping that on us rather than venting it out. So we will be back when that happens. So here's the haul of ore we got. We brought home basically 3 stacks of copper and 3 stacks of iron with a stack of gold. Not exactly, but pretty much. Let's see what our battery's looking like back here. Yellow. I really am interested. I've been doing a little bit of reading and testing a little bit, and on this planet during the daytime you can literally just suck gas atmosphere from the outside and melt pretty much everything with it except for like iron. I think you can even do steel at high noon. You just I've conquered, I would say pretty definitely, I've conquered Mars and the moon. I have never conquered Europa. I don't want to say I bought the game recently, but I haven't had it for too terribly long. You know, a couple months, I think. You know, but I feel like this planet here is definitely going to be like a lot similar to the moon, with honestly a little bit easier as far as atmospherics goes, because the moon, you got to really make sure you keep all your gases, at least the useful ones. This one I got to make sure I keep all my oxygen and either convert it to CO2 or find a way to vent it safely to atmosphere. So I'm hoping to be able to get yeah, these are already 50 stacks. Yeah, definitely. On the moon, yeah, you definitely need a heat exchanger. Recycle that furnace waste heat. I mean, even with a decent sized greenhouse, you know, there's a decent amount of heat being made there as well. If you really want to kind of squeeze the life out of it, so to speak. So let's see. Let's get this going. This wall is going to irritate me, but I'm telling myself that I'm not going to deal with it long. Because I don't believe, yeah, we can't put the frames here because of the walls. 7 kilopascals, huh? Probably should turn that on. I do have to say, one thing I really like about this game with its atmospheric simulation is the airflow particles. Like, I mean, look at this. You can clearly see the source and the sink. You know, the source being the arc furnace and the sink being that active vent, and just the air primarily whooshing around and coming into here. And you can see it out there being just vented out to regular atmosphere. Alrighty then. Let's see if we can't get 2 solar panels. Nope. We'll gladly take that though. Now hopefully we can get that, because this should be oxygen gas coming off this gold. I mean, at least a decent amount. And hopefully we can get that vented out before we have to worry about a fire outside, because I don't feel like dealing with that. And gold always makes the air coming off it like really hot. Yeah, I've seen a video on the computer automation, and I never had to do it. I've been mainly using IC10 chips, and they're probably my favorite, but I wanted to play around with the computer just to see what it was all about. And after I'm done with this, I want to play Europa. I'm just more interested in this one right now because everybody's already beaten Europa. And, you know, there's no, like, a lot of the interesting Europa designs have already been thought through. You know, if we're going to bother, we might as well get that going. Wait, I need iron sheets. Did I grab them already? No, I don't have any. Power cycle this. Yeah, that's everything I've read and seen. Just shows how bad it is. That's gonna be done in a second. Oh well. I think the base will be able to last. Probably not my best idea, but oh well. Now I'm trying to think on how I'm gonna deconstruct these. How do I do this again with the solar panels? There it is. So that works. And then I believe it's a power drill. And it's 600 degrees, so the faster that I can get this done, the better. This really isn't necessary. I could have just wired these 2 extra panels in, but I really, you know, it would have bothered me. Actually, we're just gonna go ahead and fix that. And then we're going to tilt it down. Thinking like that. I'll throw some glass in there in a second.
Waste tank.
Yep.
Caution.
That's cool by me. Okay, that battery should be charging pretty fast now. So now while we wait for sunset to come, hopefully our battery will get a good bit of charge in it. Just gonna do that. And what are we looking at here? It's gonna be a hydraulic pipe bender. What I really need to do, honestly, is get solar logic going. Okay. I guess I can't be lazy for that long. Gonna have to get that furnace set up sooner or later. I've been watching this game for some time. I've watched the guy, this is this guy's 3rd attempt actually at this type of game, and this is arguably his most successful attempt so far. His first attempt failed pretty quick. His second attempt was for this type of game as an MMO. And you know, this being his 3rd attempt, he's probably gone the farthest with it this time. Okay, we're charging. We're power positive. $78 grams of iron. We're gonna need another active vent, but we have one. Pipes, and I'll need probably a volume pump. Well, actually, I might just do, yeah, probably an active vent would probably be the best way to suck air in. I'll just need like a little logic switch so I can turn it on and off. Okay. So we're probably just going to throw this in here for now. because I want to be able to smelt during the day. I'm thinking about there. I was gonna say, I definitely didn't grab that. At least today I'm not getting the glitch where, what's it called? The welder makes the big line on the screen. I hadn't seen that glitch in some time. So an act event's gonna go. I guess it's gonna have to go on the base because that's just the way that the cookie crumbles. And that one is going to be a volume pump. So what do you need for a volume pump? Iron, gold, copper. Yeah, it's probably not enough. Oh, it is enough. That's surprising. I keep failing here. Yep, that's right. Silly me. Can't put a volume pump on the output, it has to be a pipe. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it here. It's gonna cost me an extra pipe, basically. Probably two actually, because I'm probably gonna have to bring it down. But I would be able to do something like this now. And obviously I'll be fixing this stuff. This base is not permanent at all. Those of you who've played this game before will know that the starter base is never the final base. It's just really not possible to really future-proof. Yep, that works. Crank it, because why not? Are we at nighttime now? I do believe we are. So what do I need? Well, I need to get this furnace set up, that's what I need.
Jetpack on.
And I didn't bring any of those things that I need. I probably need more pipe.
Jetpack on.
One thing that does kind of irritate me, and there's probably a way around it, I don't know exactly what it is, but you can, once you set the airlock up, even if it loses power, it all of a sudden, you know, the doors are bolted, you can't change. I would like that if it lost power, there's an easy way for you to be able to kind of override it. Yeah, so the active vent's going to need to be here. How do I want this to work? might just do something like this.
Waste tank. Caution.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's 2 times I had it the way I needed it. So that will be able to do that. Yeah, I didn't think so. I gotta say, this is probably the ugliest little piping setup I've ever done. There's something out here I wanted. I think it was a canister. Did I bring miss supplies maybe? Yep. Let's just do this here. While we're out here, get a wee bit more mining done. So let's try to, I guess, better tune our solar panels. Right, probably about 40. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. That 80. I'm thinking something like that. That way we catch that morning sun, afternoon, and the evening sun.
Tower.
I guess we'll
Low.
come back a little bit. But we do need a passive vent. Can you give me a passive vent? And I'm gonna be pretty sure here that our
Hunger. Caution.
what do we need for that? Is that all the copper we got? I don't think you can. What's that cost? I don't think you can just use a switch, a logic switch. I think I need more. The console would work. Nah, no worries. I'm trying to figure out how I want to. I have a active vent out here for the furnace to suck atmosphere in. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do that. I think I'm going to need a console for it. Probably a console. Which means more copper and more gold. See, the copper comes out, you know, it's not too hot. The gold comes out at like 400. To suck atmosphere in and out, it's just an active vent. I got a volume pump to exhaust. No, so on this planet, because it gets so hot, I can just toggle that active vent on and kick this thing up to like a, you know, like a megapascal, and the temperature will be hot enough to be able to melt like gold and copper and iron and everything like that, without worrying about it. Eventually I am going to store it. Actually, I might hook this into an atmospherics unit, so that way the oxygen will get sucked out and I can store that. It's pretty hot out there. I mean, right now if I were to go out there, it's, you know, it's probably 600 degrees centigrade. You know, these pipes aren't going to show me anything. But I mean, 600, that's hot enough to melt almost everything. I'm thinking that I'm just going to use a console, have a console right like here on the floor, because you can't put anything on these walls. Yeah, as long as I keep it as a vacuum, though, I'm not going to be too worried about it. And once I'm no longer running the arc furnace, I'm not going to have random gassing coming into the room. I've been thinking about that a lot, though, about how I'm going to be able to have an effective AC. I will eventually. Once I do pressurize, I'll move the furnace. But I've been trying to think about how I'm going to be able to keep a cool base to run hydroponics. I'm probably gonna have to just build a little underground base, like an underground, how do I say it, radiating room, because you can vent heat into a vacuum, but if the room's a vacuum, it doesn't absorb the heat, if that makes sense. So just have all my AC heat exhaust go down there. Don't really want to melt the gold, but the atmosphere in Vulcan has CO2 in it. So as long as I figure out how to cool it, I'd be able to right, that's what I'm thinking. The air conditioning units they're decently effective. They can draw enough power to, like, they can max out a regular cable coil on their own, you know, 5,000 watt. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have a heat exchanging type room. What are we trying to build here? A console. And let's get the ball rolling on that again. Because yeah, it's not gonna let me. Console monitor.
Temperature high.
Okay.
Temperature high. Temperature.
Yeah, I don't know why, but the golden melts really hot. So there is no ice on this planet. I think there is nitrogen in the atmosphere. Next nighttime there is, I will go out and show you what the atmospheric composition is, because I need to go out there anyways. but I want to say there's trace amounts of nitrogen out there. They start you out with the supplies to get a trader on this one, so that way you can trade for the gases. But I was doing some trading on the moon. I did not have any sort of good luck getting gas. Yeah, the moon, that's honestly the hardest part about the moon, is trying to get an atmosphere worthy of pressurizing. That's why some people say the moon's the easiest. I say no. Definitely Mars is the easiest. The moon is definitely the next stage up from Mars. Sure. Like that way I can stand here, I guess. That's fine. Alright. I got the passive vent.
Jetpack
Yeah,
on.
it's still daytime, but it's cold enough. It is a dog running around. It's actually 2 dogs running around. I'm sorry about that. They're just having fun. Okay, so there is no nitrogen in the atmosphere, so that is a good point that you bring up where I'm going to be able to get that from. But here's the composition. During daytime, obviously, it's hotter. But there's... Oh, wait. There's... Is that little traces of nitrogen, or am I just freaking out? Or is that from my passive exhaust? You see that too, right? That just the barely base traces of nitrogen. It's tiny, tiny amounts. Maybe harvestable? Hey, but something I can just slap a vent down and then walk away from, won't be too bad. They're just, they're living their best life, running around playing and everything like that. Not like I'm trying to do anything in here. I didn't need to do this, but I just did it so the vent's not, like, obstructed.
Jetpack on.
I actually, I have my room, like, the door's open, but there's a chair stopping them from being able to come in here. But they like to just stand right outside the room and do their business, By that I mean play around and whatever else the dogs do, not, do that sort of business. Alright, vacuum. And we are looking for an active vent. Right there. Linked? Toggle linked, I think is what we want. How much pressure can we put in here? I'm pretty sure this thing will pressurize to infinity. No, I don't want to drop that. Let's call it a megapascal. Turn that power off. We're at 400 degrees. Can we melt the gold? Not quite hot enough right now out there. It's only 100 and something Celsius, so it's not quite hot enough. But once it does get hot enough, like during the daytime, we will be able to melt stuff. Alrighty, so our furnace should be operational now. Gonna wait like a minute. Then we're gonna start to pressurize it. Hopefully we can get enough temperature to do steel. Because if not, we might be in trouble. Might have to burn some of our oxygen with the atmosphere. We're probably hot. Let's see. Oh yeah. .600 Kelvin. We should be able to. Let's see what happens if we do this. If we throw some gold in there. Boom, gold ingots. I don't think that 600 Kelvin's enough though for steel. Let's see. I wanted to say that steel would require no, 600K would run steel. I was wanting to say it was 900 for whatever reason. Let's see if we can get that temperature cranked up a little bit more. So this is steel with no ice. This is just sucking in the atmosphere out there. Let's see if we can make this work. Starting to glow. Come on. There we go. $200 grams of steel. Boom. Look at that. Steel without even having to melt ice or mix fuel or anything, just sucking the atmosphere in. Might as well grab, I think the iron, yeah, the iron we're not going to be able to do, but we can just arc furnace that, because our iron is the one that needs 900. I'm curious what sort of, there's a little bit of nitrogen in there. I guess that's where we're going to have to get our nitrogen from. Like all the CO2, hydrogen, X, that could all go. I could care less, but we're probably going to want to start skimming that nitrogen and oxygen as soon as possible. Come on. I'm trying to make a little neat little stack here. Without messing things up too badly. Come on now. Okay. I get it. Kind of looks like a little face. Anyways, though. What do we need for a tank? Well, actually, before you even ask that question, the question we need to be asking ourselves is, what do we need to expand this room? That's the real question we should be asking. We should be asking what's important to us right now. Do we need a tool manufacturing? Probably.
Power low.
Oh, power and hunger at the same time. Turn that on, turn this on. That's getting real hot. Where am I going to want to put this one? Really? I just got trolled hard. That's awesome. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I was trying to build a tool manufactory, and right as it hit 100%, I lost power. So that's like the 4th time I've been trolled today. So we got our furnace working. We're running low on food. Next episode, we're gonna start working on we're gonna get a little hallway going back here, I think. Try to expand this room. Maybe 2 more tiles this direction. I think would be a good idea. And we're gonna start working on our atmospherics, at least a primitive atmospherics, to start storing that oxygen and that nitrogen, the things that we're going to have a somewhat hard time getting in the future. Also, that makes me think, I don't think that without any ice that there's any real way for me to get water. I mean, I guess you get it from combustion. I don't know if that's a thing yet in this game. I can't remember right now. But if you don't get it from any combustion, then we'll have to figure that challenge out. Anyways, guys, take it easy.